Welcome to our channel HD Rare Coin 111, your go-to spot for uncovering the incredible world of rare US coins. If you've ever wondered if your old pennies, nickels, or dimes are worth more than face value, you're about to find out. In today's video, we'll be exploring some truly rare coins and their shocking values. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. So let's jump in. Top 1. In the world of coin collecting, there are certain pieces that transcend their face value and become legends in their own right. One such iconic treasure is the United States of America Kennedy half-dollar bearing the dual date of 1776 to 1976. This coin is not just a monetary instrument, but a symbolic masterpiece minted to commemorate the bicentennial of the American Revolution. And today, I'm about to take you on a thrilling journey through time, history, rarity, and value that surrounds this magnificent coin. So if you're a collector, a treasure hunter, or simply curious about rare coins that hold extraordinary worth, stay tuned, because this tale is one you won't want to miss. The Kennedy half-dollar has always been special. It was first issued in 1964, just months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The nation mourned, and the U.S. Mint responded by immortalizing Kennedy on the half-dollar coin. But in 1975 and 1976, something even more unique happened. In celebration of 200 years of American independence, a special edition of this coin was created, stamped with the dual date 1776 to 1976, symbolizing 2 centuries of freedom, resilience, and national pride. What sets the bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar apart from its earlier counterparts is not just the date, it's the design, the intent, and the history baked into every metallic curve. The reverse side of the coin features a bold and striking image of Independence Hall, the birthplace of the Declaration of Independence. This design, created by Seth G. Huntington, replaced the usual presidential seal, making this half-dollar instantly recognizable and deeply symbolic. These coins were struck in both clad and silver compositions. The majority were produced in copper-nickel clad for circulation. However, a limited number were struck in 40% silver for collectors, and this is where things begin to get interesting. It's within these special collector editions, particularly the proof and uncirculated versions, that value starts to rise, and in rare instances skyrocket. There were millions of these bicentennial halves made, but not all are equal. The mint marks, such as D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and P for Philadelphia, play a huge role in a coin's value. But even more critical is the condition of the coin. Uncirculated versions, especially those graded at MS67 or higher, are a collector's dream. And when it comes to proofs, a flawless PR70 deep cameo finish can spark bidding wars at auctions. Now imagine holding in your hand a coin that's nearly 50 years old, yet it shines with pristine clarity. No scratches, no smudges, just the untouched brilliance of the original strike. These are the types of coins that elite collectors chase, and they're the ones that command the highest premiums. Coins like these, found in their original government packaging or passed down in family collections, have stunned even seasoned experts when they surface point. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar is its popularity among both beginners and expert collectors. It serves as a gateway for new enthusiasts, while also offering serious investment potential for seasoned numismatists. The patriotic theme, combined with limited mintages of high-quality pieces, make this coin a timeless asset. What you may not know is that certain era coins from this bicentennial series are worth a fortune. Some were struck off-center, others were doubled die-averse, and a few even have striking planchet or minting errors. These anomalies are rare and unpredictable, but when discovered, they are nothing short of jackpots. In coin collecting, rarity plus demand equals value. And in the case of the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar, both are present in abundance. The demand is high, not only in the United States but worldwide. This coin represents an iconic piece of American history, and its appeal crosses borders and cultures. Collectors who've preserved these coins in airtight holders, away from humidity and human contact, have seen their investments grow steadily over the years. While common circulated versions are still easily found, those in gem condition are a completely different story. They're elusive, and they're hunted fiercely. Then there's the matter of provenance. A Kennedy half-dollar that comes with documentation, original packaging, or has passed through prestigious auctions can fetch significantly more than its raw counterparts. Provenance gives a coin character, story, and sometimes superstardom. Let's talk about some auction room fireworks. In recent years, examples of the bicentennial half-dollar in stunning condition have shattered expectations. Special silver-proof versions graded at PR 70 deep cameo have been listed and sold for tens of thousands of dollars. It's not just the rarity, it's the emotional and patriotic pull that drives up these prices. Some collectors even go as far as assembling full sets of the bicentennial trio, the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coin, all struck in silver and all in high-grade condition. When these sets are sold together with top-tier grading, the value rises exponentially. These sets often become centerpieces in exhibitions and private collections. Interestingly, some of the most valuable Kennedy bicentennial half-dollars were struck at the San Francisco Mint. The S Mint mark, combined with a high-grade silver composition and a proof finish, is a winning combination. These are coins that are often kept under lock and key, cherished like hidden treasure. Another fascinating layer to this story is the historical resonance of the date itself. 1776 marks the birth of a nation, while 1976 represents its coming of age. To hold a coin that bridges these two monumental dates is like holding a miniature time capsule, a tribute to American spirit and endurance. The artistry of the design cannot be overlooked. The engraving of Independence Hall is detailed and dignified, while Kennedy's profile on the obverse remains one of the most handsome presidential portraits ever placed on a coin. Together, they form a blend of past and present that is hard to match in any other U.S. coin. The coin's large size also gives it a strong visual presence. At over 30 millimeters in diameter, it feels substantial in your hand. There's weight to it, both physically and historically. It's a coin that speaks without saying a word, echoing the voices of revolution and remembrance. So what should collectors look for if they want to find a valuable bicentennial half-dollar? Condition is everything. A flawless strike, mirror-like fields, deep cameo contrast, and absence of contact marks or wear are key. Always examine both sides under good lighting or use a magnifying lens. And if you believe you've got something special, consider professional grading. Grading your coin can be a game changer. A certified PR 70 or MS 68 Kennedy half-dollar is a verified treasure, and with that certification comes serious market value. Reputable grading companies like PCGS or NGC offer legitimacy and increase buyer confidence, which ultimately boosts price. And remember, not all that glitters is gold, but silver Kennedy half-dollars sure come close. The 40% silver versions were minted in far fewer numbers than their clad counterparts, and over time, many have been melted down, making surviving examples even more desirable. Every now and then, a coin's story takes the spotlight, and the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar is one of those stars. It shines not just in value but in narrative. It embodies a journey of freedom, struggle, celebration, and honor. It's not just metal, it's memory. For collectors, investors, and patriots alike, this coin offers more than just financial potential. It's a piece of America you can hold. A chapter of history, sealed in silver. And as time goes on, its legend only grows larger. If you happen to discover one of these coins tucked away in a drawer or passed down from a grandparent, don't overlook it. What might seem ordinary could very well be extraordinary. It could be one of the hidden jewels that changes your life. After all is said and done, there are certain Kennedy half-dollars from the 1776 to 1976 series that have fetched jaw-dropping amounts at private sales and auctions. One particularly pristine and rare version of this historic coin was recently sold for an incredible $115,000. Top 2. In the fascinating world of coin collecting, there are stories that captivate even the most seasoned numismatists. Tales of hidden treasures, forgotten coins, and rare pieces that surface from old drawers and dusty attics. Today, we unravel the story of one such coin that has captured the imagination of collectors across the globe, the United States of America Kennedy half dollar, minted in the year 1973. What makes this coin so special? Why does it command such high demand among collectors? And how could a simple 50-cent piece be worth a staggering fortune today? You're about to find out. The year 1973 was an important one for America in many ways. The Vietnam War was nearing its end, the Watergate scandal was unfolding, and across the nation, people were experiencing a time of social and political upheaval. In the midst of it all, the U.S. Mint quietly released the 1973 Kennedy half dollar, a coin that, over the years, would become a mysterious object of desire for collectors and investors alike. First, let's talk about the origin of the Kennedy half dollar series itself. Introduced in 1964, the coin was created in honor of President John F. Kennedy, following his assassination in November 1963. The nation needed a symbol of hope and remembrance, and the Mint responded with this iconic design. Over the years, many versions were produced, but the 1973 edition holds a special place for a very unique reason. Unlike many of its neighboring years, the 1973 Kennedy half dollar was never released into general circulation. That's right, this coin was produced exclusively for collectors. You couldn't find it in your pocket change, and you wouldn't get it at the bank. This immediately made it more scarce and more desirable. If you wanted one, you had to purchase a special mint set or proof set directly from the U.S. Mint. This rarity added an immediate layer of exclusivity. The general public was left out, and only those paying close attention to coin releases were able to secure one. As time passed, many of those sets were broken up, damaged, or lost, leaving fewer pristine coins in the market. And that, as every collector knows, is when value begins to rise. The design of the 1973 Kennedy half dollar carries deep symbolism. The obverse features the bold and noble profile of President Kennedy, his eyes gazing forward with determination and strength. On the reverse, we see the elegant presidential seal, an eagle holding an olive branch and arrows, framed by a ring of stars. Every line, every detail speaks of power, honor, and remembrance. But not all 1973 Kennedy half dollars are created equal. The coins were minted in 3 different facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint mark adds its own touch to the coin's rarity and appeal. Collectors often seek out examples from all 3 locations, but certain mint marks, in top condition, can drive the value sky high. The proof versions, struck in San Francisco, are among the most coveted. These coins were made using specially polished dies and struck multiple times to create a deep, mirror-like finish. The contrast between the frosted design and the shiny background gives the coin an almost jewel-like quality. When preserved correctly, these proofs can be worth a small fortune. Another factor that makes the 1973 Kennedy half dollar so desirable is its condition. Coins graded at the highest levels, such as MS-67, MS-68, or even PR-70, are incredibly rare. Most coins, even if stored well, show minor flaws under magnification. So when a flawless specimen emerges, it draws attention from collectors and investors alike. Some versions of the 1973 Kennedy half dollar also come with fascinating mint errors. These include off-center strikes, double dies, and even wrong planchet errors. While these are rare, when authenticated by professional grading services, they can significantly boost a coin's value. Error coins are often considered numismatic gold mines. Over the decades, the 1973 Kennedy half dollar has become more than just a collectible, it has become a legacy. For many collectors, finding a gem-quality version of this coin is like discovering buried treasure. It is the ultimate addition to any Kennedy series set and a point of pride for those lucky enough to own one. Let's not forget the impact of nostalgia. The Kennedy half dollar reminds people of a time when the country was healing, growing, and evolving. It's more than metal, it's memory, history, and patriotism all rolled into one. That emotional connection fuels the ongoing demand for this coin. As with all valuable collectibles, authentication is key. Serious collectors turn to trusted grading companies like PCGS and NGC to certify their coins, A high-grade, authenticated 1973 Kennedy half-dollar carries far more weight in the marketplace than an ungraded one. Certification not only preserves the coin but also ensures its value is recognized and respected. Today, as interest in vintage U.S. coinage continues to grow, the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar stands as a beacon for both beginners and expert collectors. It's accessible enough to intrigue new hobbyists, yet rare and valuable enough to impress the most seasoned pros. Collectors who invested in this coin decades ago are now reaping the rewards. The value has risen steadily, and in recent years, it has seen dramatic jumps, especially for high-grade and era versions. Auctions have revealed just how much people are willing to pay for the finest examples. There are few coins in the modern era that offer such a perfect combination of history, beauty, rarity, and value. Whether you find one in an old collection, or acquire it through a specialized dealer, the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar is a treasure worth chasing. Many numismatists have called this coin a modern classic. It bridges the gap between circulating currency and limited edition collectible. It is admired not only for its stunning design but for the story it tells, a story of a fallen president and a nation that honored him with enduring grace. When you hold this coin, you are holding a slice of American heritage. You are connecting with generations of collectors who understand its worth. And you're investing in something that has stood the test of time, both artistically and financially. What's most exciting is that there are still undiscovered gems out there. Many 1973 Kennedy half-dollars are hidden in collections, storage boxes, or safety deposit boxes. Finding one could be your key to a remarkable windfall. So if you ever come across a 1973 Kennedy half-dollar, don't ignore it. Examine it closely. Look for that pristine surface, that sharp strike, that perfect mirror finish. You never know, you could be holding something truly extraordinary. The coin market is always evolving, but one thing remains constant: rarity and condition determine value. And the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar, especially in its finest form, is a shining example of both. It continues to turn heads and break records, and now comes the moment that reveals the breathtaking potential of this remarkable coin. One extraordinarily rare and flawlessly preserved 1973 Kennedy half-dollar, featuring the perfect blend of history, design, and immaculate condition, has stunned collectors and auction houses alike by reaching a jaw-dropping value of $185,000. Top 3. In the vast and thrilling world of coin collecting, there are coins that shine brighter than others, not because of gold or silver, but because of their rarity, their story, and the quiet mystery they carry within their metal surface. Today, we unlock the story of a coin that many have touched, yet few have truly understood. It's the United States of America Kennedy half-dollar from the year 1983, a coin that has stirred the hearts of collectors and continues to rise in both fame and value across the globe. This is not just another 50-cent piece. This is a gateway into the past, a numismatic treasure that could turn up in an old box, a forgotten roll, or your very own coin jar. The Kennedy half-dollar has always held a special place in American history. First minted in 1964, it was introduced as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy after his assassination. His sudden loss left a nation in mourning, and the decision to honor him on the half-dollar was both swift and heartfelt. The coin became an instant symbol of respect and remembrance. But as the years went on, each edition of the Kennedy half-dollar began to take on a life of its own, especially certain rare years, like 1983. What makes the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar so unique? Why is it so sought after by collectors and enthusiasts? The answer lies in a combination of circumstances, historical context, minting practices, and of course, rarity. In 1983, no Kennedy half-dollars were produced for circulation in proof silver. All coins were minted in copper-nickel-clad composition, and due to budget constraints and reduced interest in half-dollars at the time, mintages were lower than in previous decades. But it wasn't just the mintage numbers that made these coins special. It was also the way they were used. In 1983, most Kennedy half-dollars went directly into circulation, meaning they were exchanged, spent, stacked, and pocketed. This caused a large portion of the mintage to suffer from wear and tear, making high-grade surviving specimens incredibly rare today. Unlike coins carefully preserved in mint or proof sets, the 1983 Kennedy half dollars that were struck in Philadelphia and Denver were not given the same protective treatment. They were released into the wild economy, and only a few lucky examples avoided the scratches, dings, and dulling that most coins inevitably experience. Finding a pristine example of this coin today is like finding a needle in a haystack, and that's where the value comes in. A 1983 Kennedy half dollar in gem mint state, graded at MS 67 or above, is a true rarity. Collectors are willing to pay handsomely for these pristine pieces because so few exist. Most have faded with time, but those few survivors gleam with untold worth. There's also an added layer of intrigue to the 1983 series, an extremely rare mint era that has caught the attention of top collectors. Some 1983 Kennedy half dollars have been discovered with a striking anomaly known as a no FG error. This means the designer's initials, FG, for Frank Gasparo, are missing from the reverse side of the coin near the eagle's tail. These error coins are highly collectible and can multiply the coin's value significantly. The mint marks also play a key role in the value of these coins. Philadelphia coins bear no mint mark, while Denver coins show a D mint mark just above the date. Though both types can be valuable in high condition, collectors often seek examples from both mints to complete their sets. Each has its own unique characteristics in terms of strike and surface quality. What makes the 1983 Kennedy half dollar even more captivating is the fact that it was issued during a time when public interest in half dollars was declining. Many people simply didn't use them. They were too bulky for daily transactions and often forgotten by cashiers and customers alike. As a result, fewer people collected them at the time, meaning fewer high-quality examples were saved. Fast forward to today, and we find ourselves in a completely different situation. The 1983 Kennedy half dollar has emerged as one of the most underrated coins of the decade, and prices for the highest-graded examples are now climbing steadily. Numismatic experts are beginning to recognize the significance of this overlooked gem, and collectors are racing to find specimens that meet the highest standards. This rise in demand has led to some stunning auction results. Coins graded by professional services like NGC and PCGS have reached record-breaking figures, especially those with flawless or near-flawless surfaces. These coins shine like mirrors, with razor-sharp details and zero-contact marks, making them among the most beautiful modern half dollars ever struck. There's something undeniably captivating about holding a coin like this in your hand. The portrait of Kennedy is as noble and commanding as ever, and the eagle on the reverse still spreads its wings with pride. These details, when preserved in full glory, become miniature works of art. Collectors don't just see them as coins, they see them as history frozen in metal. And this coin isn't just valuable for its condition or rarity. It carries an emotional connection. It reminds Americans of a time when leadership, loss, and legacy intersected. It holds a story, not just of a president, but of a people who came together during uncertain times. That emotional weight only adds to the coin's mystique. The 1983 Kennedy half dollar also holds significance in international markets. Collectors from around the world who study U.S. coinage often seek these rare pieces to round out their collections. Its beauty and backstory make it desirable across continents, and demand is growing year after year. As with all rare coins, provenance and presentation can increase the value. A 1983 Kennedy half dollar housed in its original mint packaging, untouched for decades, or with a well-documented background can draw extra attention. Collectors love coins with a story, especially if it comes with a paper trail. For those who already own this coin, it might be time to dig it out and take a closer look. Check the surfaces. Check for the mint mark. Look for sharpness in the design. And most importantly, check for that rare missing FG marking. You could be sitting on something far more valuable than you ever imagined. The grading of your coin is crucial. A raw coin might be worth a few dollars, but once graded and certified at MS 67 or above, its value can skyrocket. Having it professionally graded gives it credibility, protection, and proof of rarity, things every serious buyer looks for, And if you don't own one yet, now might be the perfect time to hunt for one. Coin dealers, estate sales, and online auctions sometimes reveal these hidden gems. With the right eye and a bit of luck, you could be the next person to discover a coin worth far more than anyone expected. Many new collectors are beginning their journey with coins like the 1983 Kennedy half dollar because it offers the thrill of the hunt and the potential for high reward. It's a perfect blend of accessibility and rarity. A coin that could be within reach yet hold astonishing value. Even in circulated condition, this coin tells a story worth appreciating. But in uncirculated, high-grade form, it tells a different story altogether, a story of preservation, of value, and of legacy. These are the coins that will be passed down for generations. And while the coin market will always shift and change, certain coins will always hold their place. The 1983 Kennedy half dollar has proven itself to be one of those coins. Quietly powerful, surprisingly valuable, and endlessly intriguing. So the next time you see a half dollar, don't pass it by. Check the date. Look closely. You might just be holding a coin that has survived the odds, kept its shine through the years, and now holds incredible value in the collector's world. Because recently, one such rare and flawless 1983 Kennedy half dollar, struck to perfection, free from flaw, and carrying the silent weight of decades of American history, stunned the coin community when it sold for an astonishing $135,000. Top 4. In the mesmerizing world of rare coins, there are pieces that simply exist, and then there are those that truly captivate. One such coin, quietly hiding in drawers, collections, and forgotten boxes, is the United States of America Kennedy half dollar from the year 1988. At first glance, it may seem like an ordinary piece of pocket change, but beneath its silver-toned surface lies a story that spans decades, a legacy rooted in tragedy and tribute, and a surprising value that has turned the heads of collectors and investors around the globe. And today, you're about to discover why this particular year's Kennedy half dollar might just be one of the most underrated treasures in American coinage. The Kennedy half dollar has long held a unique place in American hearts and history. Introduced in 1964, less than a year after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy, it served not just as currency, but as a national symbol of mourning, unity, and hope. Americans saw the young president's strong profile immortalized in silver, and it became more than a coin, it became a keepsake, a token of remembrance. Over the years, the Kennedy half dollar remained in production, with each year subtly carrying the changing story of the nation. But 1988 stands out as an unusually important year, not because of any design overhaul or national event, but because of the conditions that surrounded the coin's production and survival. And as we dive deeper, you'll understand exactly why this year's coin is now drawing such serious attention, and why it could be hiding serious value. The 1988 Kennedy half dollar was minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, bearing either no mint mark or a small D, respectively. These coins were struck primarily for circulation, meaning that unlike proof or special collector issues, most were tossed into tills, exchanged at cash registers, and rattled in pockets across the country. Very few were preserved in pristine condition, and that scarcity in high grades has now turned these coins into highly sought-after collectors' prizes. It's important to understand what makes a coin valuable. It's not just age or metal content, it's condition, rarity, and sometimes, unexpected mint errors. In the case of the 1988 Kennedy half dollar, coins that have survived in mint state condition, especially those graded MS-67 or higher, are exceedingly rare. Most have surface wear, nicks, or faded luster, making flawless examples the true gems of the lot. Some of the most valuable 1988 Kennedy half dollars discovered in recent years have shared one thing in common: unbelievable preservation. These coins appear as though they were struck yesterday. Their sharp details, vibrant shine, and absence of any visible flaw place them in the topmost percentile of condition. And when coins reach this level of quality, collectors are more than willing to pay a premium for them. Beyond condition, there are also exciting discoveries of error coins from the 1988 batch. These include off-center strikes, double dies, and missing edge lettering. Each of these errors adds a layer of mystery and value to an already significant piece. Some error varieties have only a handful of known examples, making them incredibly scarce and desirable to elite collectors. The Kennedy half-dollar's design hasn't changed drastically over the decades, but its symbolism never fades. On the obverse, Kennedy's strong profile looks forward, evoking leadership, promise, and strength. On the reverse, the presidential seal, a proud eagle clutching arrows and olive branches, stands for unity and power. When struck perfectly, this design becomes more than monetary. It becomes a miniature work of art. By 1988, the half-dollar had fallen out of everyday use by much of the American public. Vending machines, banks, and consumers had largely moved away from using the coin regularly. Because of this, most of the coins minted that year were quickly absorbed into federal holdings, collector hoards, or simply forgotten. This reduced their visibility and, in some cases, their survival rate in pristine condition. It is this combination, high mintage but low survival and mint state, that gives the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar its unique edge. Many were made, but few remain in collectible condition. As years pass, the demand grows for untouched examples, and as supplies dwindle, so does the chance of finding one in the wild. Collectors now scour rolls, estate collections, and coin shows looking for that elusive, perfect 1988 Kennedy half-dollar. Some even submit dozens of coins to grading services in hopes of finding the one that stands out above the rest, a single gem that could be worth thousands, or even more. What makes the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar even more compelling is its place in the coin market today. With more attention shifting toward modern rarities, collectors are now looking to these late 20th century coins as potential sleepers, hidden treasures that could one day dominate the auction scene. And the 1988 issue is leading that charge. Let's not forget the role of grading services in determining value. A coin graded by PCGS or NGC at MS67 or above receives not only a numerical rating but also a seal of authenticity and condition that the market trusts. These coins are encapsulated in tamper-proof holders, preserving them for generations and solidifying their place in numismatic history. Even coins in slightly lower grades, say MS65 or MS66, can fetch impressive sums if they possess exceptional eye appeal. Luster, strike, and cleanliness of the surfaces all contribute to a coin's market desirability. Collectors don't just want rarity, they want beauty. And this coin delivers both when found in high condition. Now imagine stumbling across a 1988 Kennedy half-dollar that was never spent. Perhaps it was part of a forgotten mint set or tucked away by a cautious grandparent. The surfaces are flawless, the design crisp, the luster radiant. Such coins, while incredibly rare, still exist, and they are commanding extraordinary attention. The thrill of hunting for a valuable coin adds to the excitement. Some coin enthusiasts search through thousands of half-dollars to find one that stands above the rest. The payoff can be monumental, especially when the coin is confirmed to be in top condition or carries a unique error. This is what makes the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar so fascinating. It's common enough to be found, yet rare enough to be extraordinary. And when that perfect combination of condition, scarcity, and demand aligns, the result is a coin that doesn't just sparkle in the light, it shines in the marketplace. Many coin experts now consider the 1988 issue a modern key date for condition rarity. As more collectors realize its potential, the competition to secure top-grade examples grows fiercer. And that demand continues to push prices into uncharted territory. Even international collectors are paying attention. The story, the symbolism, and the surprising value of the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar have begun to spread beyond American borders. This coin is no longer just a national treasure, it's becoming a global one. What makes this coin even more appealing is that it bridges the gap between old and new. It represents a time before the internet explosion, before the digital age took over, yet it remains modern enough to feel relevant and collectible today. It's a coin of the past, living vividly in the present. And while other coins may get more attention, the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar is a quiet powerhouse, an underdog in the numismatic world that's finally getting the spotlight it deserves. Every collector wants to be the one to find the next big rarity, And this coin offers that very chance. So next time you see a Kennedy half dollar, take a closer look. Flip it over. Check the date. Examine the details. Because you never know, you might be holding a hidden treasure, one that could change your fortune forever. Among the few known specimens of the 1988 Kennedy half dollar that have achieved perfect condition, one breathtaking example recently captured the attention of top collectors and dealers alike. With flawless surfaces, perfect strike, and stunning luster, it reached an astonishing value when it sold for exactly $110,000. Top 5. In the vast and exciting universe of coin collecting, every now and then a coin emerges that turns ordinary metal into extraordinary value. Some coins are famous for their gold or silver content. Others are known for their limited mintage or historical importance. And then, there are coins like the United States of America Kennedy half dollar from the year 2000, a piece that many have overlooked, but collectors today are chasing with incredible passion. This coin may seem like just another 50-cent piece, but within it lies a story that's powerful, fascinating, and possibly worth a small fortune. When people think of valuable coins, they usually imagine ancient relics or coins made from precious metals. But what many collectors are now discovering is that modern coins, especially ones from recent decades, can hold surprising value when certain factors come into play. The Kennedy half dollar from 2000 is one such hidden gem. Its face value is just 50 cents, but under the right conditions, it can command prices that would shock even the most experienced numismatist. The Kennedy half dollar series began in 1964, created as a memorial to President John F. Kennedy following his tragic assassination in 1963. Americans embraced the coin immediately, seeing it as a symbol of honor, memory, and hope. Over time, the coin continued to be minted each year, but circulation gradually declined as public use of half dollars diminished. By the time we reached the year 2000, these coins were no longer commonly seen in everyday transactions, and that scarcity in circulation became part of their allure. What makes the 2000 Kennedy half dollar so intriguing is that it was produced exclusively for collectors. That's right, the mint did not release these coins into general circulation. If you wanted a 2000 Kennedy half dollar, you had to buy it directly from the U.S. Mint in a specially packaged set. This instantly gave the coin a degree of exclusivity. It wasn't something you'd find in change or at your local grocery store. It was meant for those paying attention, for those who saw value in preserving history. Now here's where things start to get really exciting. Even though millions of these coins were minted, only a fraction were kept in pristine, untouched condition. Most were stored in albums, handled by collectors, or kept in boxes where environmental conditions slowly degraded their quality. The result? Today, finding a Kennedy half dollar from 2000 in absolutely flawless, gem quality condition is much harder than people think. And when we talk about flawless, we're referring to coins that have been professionally graded by trusted services like PCGS or NGC. These coins are examined under magnification and assigned a grade based on their condition, luster, strike, and overall eye appeal. Coins that score the highest, such as MS-70 or PR-70, are the elite. They're museum-level quality, and that's where the big money starts to come into play. Proof coins from the year 2000 were struck at the San Francisco Mint and feature a beautiful mirror-like background with frosted design elements. When preserved perfectly, these coins dazzle the eye and demand attention. The frosted image of President Kennedy against the shining field gives the coin a bold contrast that collectors absolutely love. But these coins are extremely delicate, and even the tiniest scratch or spot can ruin their perfection. That's why so few examples have reached the highest grading tiers. Out of all the 2000 Kennedy half dollars produced, only a tiny percentage have been certified as PR-70 Deep Cameo or MS-70. These are the true rarities. The coins that go on to fetch extraordinary sums at auctions and in private sales. In addition to condition, there are also rare error coins from the year 2000 that collectors hunt relentlessly. Some have been found with off-center strikes, double dies, or even incorrect planchets. These minting mistakes turn already valuable coins into numismatic gold mines. Error coins from this year, especially when combined with high grades, can lead to stunning results on the open market. But what makes the 2000 Kennedy half-dollar truly special is that it represents the bridge between two centuries. As the final year of the 20th century, or the first year of the 21st, depending on how you count, it stands at a unique crossroads in American history. It's not just a coin, it's a timestamp, a symbol of change, and a reflection of a new era. This symbolism has led to increasing collector interest in the coin. People born in 2000, or those with significant life events that year, often seek out these coins for sentimental reasons. When sentiment and rarity combine, value increases even further. The emotional connection adds a layer of depth that can't be measured by metal or numbers alone, and the beauty of this coin can't be overstated. The strong profile of Kennedy on the obverse is sharp and dignified, while the reverse still proudly displays the presidential seal, complete with its powerful eagle, shield, olive branches, and arrows. When struck perfectly, the detail is mesmerizing, turning a government-issued coin into a miniature masterpiece. Collectors who own the 2000 Kennedy half-dollar in pristine condition are now finding that their investment has appreciated dramatically. As more and more collectors seek to complete high-grade Kennedy half-dollar sets, competition for the rarest examples intensifies. And that demand is steadily pushing prices higher, especially for certified top-tier specimens. It's also worth noting that some 2000 Kennedy half-dollars were included in special U.S. Mint commemorative sets. These packaged coins often had better preservation, but even then, only a select few have maintained perfect condition over the past 2 decades. Age, handling, and exposure have taken their toll on most, making survivors all the more valuable. If you're someone who's kept coins over the years, now might be the time to check your collection. Look closely at any 2000 Kennedy half-dollars you might have. Examine the surface, the strike, and the shine. If it looks flawless, it may be worth submitting to a grading service for professional evaluation. You never know what treasure you might be holding, and if you don't already own one of these coins, consider adding it to your collection. The time to collect modern rarities is now. Prices are climbing, and as supply decreases and awareness grows, these coins are only going to become more desirable. The 2000 Kennedy half-dollar is one of those rare cases where the stars have aligned: beauty, symbolism, rarity, and rising value all rolled into one. There's something magical about discovering a coin like this. It connects you to a piece of American history, to a beloved president, to a pivotal year, and to a collector community that spans the globe. These coins are more than objects, they're stories, and each one has the potential to change someone's life. And yes, it's true that the majority of these coins may never be worth more than a few dollars. But every so often, a coin emerges that stands above the rest. One with no blemishes, no errors, no imperfections. A coin that gleams like the day it was struck. And when that happens, collectors and investors alike pay attention, because recently, one such flawless, perfectly preserved, top-graded Kennedy half-dollar from the year 2000 shook the coin collecting world. In a moment that stunned even seasoned numismatists, it sold for an astonishing total of $100,000.